for whatever we do in life is celebrated in song and dance. Whether it be the birth of a child, whether it be the death of a loved one, victory in war, or a great day. For me, it's often difficult to talk about the African American experience without talking about the poetry, the music, the art, the feeling, the emotive feeling that brings an important aspect to understanding the history. This song right here is an old song that actually dates back to the 19th century when they first found it. And I like to give you guys great things. You can find all the stuff I have online. This song right now you can find if you type in "No More Auction Block for Me," go to Smithsonian Institute. They have an original recording of the Fifth Jubilee singers who sung this back in for the first time in 1873. And you can find all these resources online. But this song is a great song because it actually comes to probably begin right after that period of Reconstruction. Because as you know, in Reconstruction, as I said before, you know, things have changed, as you heard earlier. There's a time where things are looking up. Blacks are aspiring and moving to political office. People are able to be franchised to vote. And then from that change, something happens, right? They want to return to the old ways. Now, I'm a Virginian, so as I said before, if I say something that makes you upset, it's cool, because I'm a Southern boy. And so the South will rise again. You ever heard that before? Yes. Come on now, I'm a preacher. I'm a preacher. Y'all make me preach. Come on now. Right? So what I like to do when I start talking about this is sometimes when I have discussion about the Civil War, the Reconstruction period, and moving to the Great Migration, I would have friends of mine who would tell me why the Civil War was fought. The Civil War was fought over states' rights, right? Raise your hand, right? Am I right about that? Was it fought over states' rights? You all disagree with me? Huh? Yes? What do you say? No. You say? Maybe? You say? Slavery, you say?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that it's both.
That's right, states' rights, that's right. I think it may be both. States' rights to own slaves, right? Very much so. And that idea that it was the states' rights to own slaves, as one of my colleagues says, a friend of mine by the name of James Oliver Horton, who's a great historian, he says, make no mistake, slavery was not a sideshow in America. It was not, you know, a casual institution. Slavery was the main event. It was really the main event in America. It was the economic engine that ran the American machine. It was the economic engine that led to the development of Europe. So it was the main event. So surely those southern states wanted to maintain those rights to be able to hold on to that economic engine in the way they had before. So with that, what's interesting is that, again, I don't want to backtrack on too much that you all know, but I want to just go back a little bit. So when things begin to change, the South wants to reclaim some of their, you know, things that have been taken away from them. You know, things begin to happen with the law. You know, you want to make something happen, you change the law. So they start enacting black codes, and we begin to know them as Jim Crow laws. Say, you know, you talked about that with Mr. Campbell a little earlier about, you know, poll taxes, redistributing land. These things are all important, and I don't want to blow by them because they are very much tied to the reason why blacks moved north or began to migrate to other places. These things are extremely important because if you promise me some land, 40 acres and a mule, and I don't get that 40 acres and a mule, and you decide that instead of the 40 acres and a mule, you want to have me to share crop, right? Where I also break out the story, not only song. So I want to tell you a story. This is a story about this master named Jim Turner. Jim Turner lived in Mississippi after doing Reconstruction. And he was going to work out with one of his former slaves, a fellow by the name of Ism Potlow, okay? That he and Ism would enter into a contract to share crop, you see what I'm saying? And this wasn't Ism Potlow with the slew foot. This is Ism Potlow who was industrious, you understand? Ism Potlow who liked to work. So Ism Potlow went to Master Jim Turner. He said, Mr. Jim Turner, sir. So I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to split things 50-50, right, sir? And my attorney said, you know what, Isma, I've been thinking about this here thing. I provide you with a house. I give you food. I give you seed. Hell, I even gave you the mule. So I don't think we need to divide things up 50-50, right? What I think we need to do is that you take the bottom half of whatever you grow, and I'm going to take the top half. Isma looked at me, he said, Master Turner, sir, can't we just share? It's called sharecropping, sir. I share some, you share some. 50-50, can't we just share? And Mr. Turner, he said, look here, I told you, if you're going to do this, you're going to do this my way. You're going to take the bottom half, and I'm going to take the top half. All day, nearly every day. It's Pablo and his family, his wife, his kids. They go out to the back part of the property where Master gave him, well, I said, old Master Turner gave him some property. Mr. Turner now, and they work it morning and night. And old Mr. Turner, he would see it's Pablo and his family coming back at the wee hours of almost like dusk time to their little house. And he would say, Ism, you working hard, ain't you? He said, yes, sir, I'm working hard, sir. He said, well, you just remember, come harvest time, whatever you grow, I'm going to take the top half, right? Mm-hmm. And you're going to get the bottom half. Ism, he works all year long. Harvest time come around, and he goes up to Master Turner's porch, and he sets down 2 big barrels. And Master Turner, Mr. Turner, he was so happy. He was smoking his pipe, and he had a glass of sweet tea, and he walked over. He said, oh, Ism, I know you got something good for me, because I told you whatever you grew, I wanted to, and you will take the Master, I said, Mister, see, I can't say it. I'm like, Ism, I can't get it out of my mouth. It's Mister, not Master. He opens up one of the barrels, and he looks inside, and he don't find nothing but some old dried up leaves and vines. He looks in the other barrel, and he finds the same thing. He said, hold on, Ism. I thought I told you that whatever you grew in this sharecropping, that I would take the top half, and you would take the bottom half. Well, Ism said, well, sir, I did. But me and my family, we grew potatoes this year. And the only thing on the top half was this old vine that we don't need, but we gave it all to you, sir. Oh, Master Turner said, okay, you a smart boy, huh? Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. You're going to go back and we're going to continue our sharecropping. And this time I'm going to take the bottom half, and you're going to take the top half. Ism said, well, sir, this is sharecropping, sir. I mean, you know, in sharecropping, you share, right? You take half, and I take half. Excuse me, what's his name? Mr. Turner. It's hard. When you fresh out of slavery, it's hard to get the new language together. He said, Mr. Turner, if you want it that way, sir, that's the way it's going to be. He said, I know that's the way it's going to be. Ism, he goes with his family. They work the back acres. Sun up to sundown, they work. Harvest time come around, Master, Mr. Jim Turner sitting on his porch, and he come with 4 barrels this time. Mr. Jim Turner, he know he got him now. He walks over to the barrel, the first one, and he opens it up. And when he looks inside, he don't see nothing but some roots and dirt. He said, oh, no, wait a minute, Ism. I told you that this year, whatever you grow, I'm going to take the bottom half, and you're going to take the top half. He said, well, sir, this year, me and my family, we grew cabbage. And you know, the cabbage grows on top, and you know, the dirt and the roots is on the bottom. We don't eat that. You can have that, so we gave it all to you. Master Turner, excuse me, what's his name? It's hard when you're fresh out of slavery, you understand. You get the stuff together. You know, you're supposed to be a free man. You're sharecropping. Things are supposed to be equal. He said, listen, you're going to go work again for me. And we're going to do this sharecropping. But this year, I'll tell you what it's going to do. I'm going to take the top half and the bottom half of whatever you grow. And anything left in the middle, you can have it, but I want the top and the bottom half. Yes, he said, but sir, it's sharecropping, right? Can't we just share? Pastor Turner said, no, I told you what I'm going to do, and you do what I said. So he went back there and worked that property the whole time again. He came up that time with 4 barrels, this time with 8 barrels. And harvest time was done, and Pastor Turner was feeling good because he figured he got no way out of this one, you see. Top half and the bottom half, ain't no way he can get out of this, no way, right? So he walks over to one barrel, lifts up the top, and he sees a whole bunch of stalks. You see? He lifts up the other one, and he sees a bunch of tassels. And he said, hold on. You worked all year long, and all I got to show, and this is a bunch of stalks and a bunch of tassels. And he said, well, yes, sir, you said you want the top half and the bottom half. He said, but this year we grew corn. You know, and corn, when it grows on the stalk, it's in the middle. You can have them little tassels, we don't eat them, and the stalk. Oh, Mr. Turner he was done. He was fit to be done. He said, Ism, I guess you taught me a lesson. He said, Ism, I think that what you're going to do this year, since we sharecropping, right, is that you're going to go out there and work that land, and I'm going to take half, right? And you're going to take half, right? And we're going to just share, because it's called sharecropping. Ism, he was looking down when the master said this, when the mister said this. And he raised his head up and he said, well, Mr. Turner, I don't think my family and I'll be working for you no more. He said, in fact, I want to settle up my accounts with you today. Because from all that we got to take to the market, my family and I got a pretty penny. And I hear that they've got some new jobs to the north on the railroad and in the factories, and I understand that I can get some schooling for the children, so I think we're going to settle up and we're going to move on up a little higher. Well, for many African Americans, the unbalanced nature of the sharecropping system was part of the reason why they were they were eager to move north. The idea that you fill a sack of cotton and you can pick all year long, and by the time the books are added up in the end, you done ate more food, bought more clothes, and you owe the man more. But what's also has happened is, here's another song that I like, and I tell you, I use these songs because when you're in the classroom, slavery is heavy, man. I mean, really, American history is heavy.